Audio on.
And action.
What's up, guys? Name's Matt Robertson. I'm one of the co-founders of the Black Box Collective. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on myself and tell you how we got to this point today. So I grew up in a small blue-collar town in North Georgia where my dad owned businesses, my granddad owned businesses. He built a golf course. My dad, he had several construction businesses, owned airplanes. That's where I got into aviation, is through him. He taught me how to fly pretty much. I was in that airplane flying when I was a baby, so I've known how to basically fly since I was a toddler. So I learned how to fly through him. Then after my training in my hometown, I went to Auburn University. That's where I got all the rest of my flight training down there. That's where I met Blake, the co-founder. We met down there. He became one of my best friends. We flew aircraft together down there. His dad also owned aircraft like mine, like smaller Cessna 4-seaters, 6-seat airplanes. So we would borrow each other's airplanes. I'd let him take mine, fly home, fly back to Auburn when we were down there. We actually started a couple little side hustle businesses in college too, which I guess that would be one of the first entrepreneurial endeavors between me and him. So it was bound to happen again. So after Auburn, I went to the airlines. I was hired at ASA, Atlantic Southeast Airlines. Now they're out of business. They changed their name to ExpressJet Airlines. I flew for those guys for 15 years. So during that time when I was flying, I learned about Bitcoin in 2013, and I was pretty captivated by that and the technology. And so it was funny, while I would be flying, I would be kind of on autopilot reading books about this new technology, blockchain, startup business books, just because I think business has always been one of my passions, aviation as well, but aviation was something I was just kind of ingrained in, and I could fly an airplane kind of like riding a bicycle, you know.
Yeah.
But having that kind of bug to be an entrepreneur has always been with me. I guess I got that from my dad and granddad building businesses. And so for fun, I would just read the tech on blockchain, startup books, things like that. When my second son was born, Julian, I got to take some time off. During that time, me and a friend of mine started a little blockchain consulting company in Atlanta. We were kind of teaching people how to trade. This was right around 2017 into 18 when the market crashed. So we were started off really good, and then the market crashed, and nobody wanted to come learn about blockchain anymore. So that business didn't last too long, but the passion for blockchain and anything related to crypto was still there. Went back to flying. About a year later, I got with a real estate company. I got my real estate license, and then I started working with them. They wanted to put out a product, a blockchain digital identity. So we went down the rabbit hole with self-sovereign identity, company Evernym, all those types of things. So another kind of blockchain-related endeavor while I was still flying. Then, let's see, in 2018 or in 2019, my company started doing kind of bad. The airline it was ran by some new management, and they started to kind of go downhill a little bit. And then when COVID hit, that company got shut down. So when that shut down, what I did was I started up an Amazon business, started selling things, turned that business from zero into about a $200,000 business in about a year. I guess it was just because, the entrepreneur in me, I just kind of took to a new business also. I had to figure out a way to make it for my family, So started doing that. Started getting a little bit more heavily trading crypto. Got into NFTs in about February of last year. I think the first NFT I bought was a befriend, Gary V, and then shortly after that, got into Bored Apes. So trading NFTs, got Blake into NFTs at that point. Me and him always talking about aviation, crypto, and NFTs during that time, and then we started talking about the decon and the access that an NFT can give you. And then kind of like Blake was telling me about his previous business partners that were some of these private jet companies. And so the idea kind of came to us. He was thinking that we could do something as far as an NFT access pass to one of these charter services. And that's kind of how we came to this idea. The reason why we thought it was a good opportunity, though, is that we're very familiar with the aviation side of things, and I'm very familiar with the scheduling and logistics of aircraft, and Blake's really connected in the industry as well, and some of his current partners are private jet companies, and he was telling me some of the pain points that they would go through, and that we kind of sat down one day and started thinking about what we could do from our experience and what were the opportunities there. And we got to thinking that there's no real, I guess, household name or one-stop shop for private jets, and also it's the service that most people don't use on a daily basis. So you really don't think about it. You either think that it is too expensive for you, so you don't even consider it as an option, or if you are in a position where you do fly, you may have a flight department within your company that books it for you, so you don't really think about it then either. So we kind of coming at it at an angle where we are educating people about what a private flight is and the process of booking one, but we're going to make it simpler with the platform that we're building. And the platform that we're building, what it's going to do is make the charter company and their operations, it's going to make it more efficient. It's going to make it to where the customer has more options. They can pay in crypto, which is huge for these charter jet companies. As it stands now, they use wire transfers, which can take a couple days. And if they have to get refunded, there again, it'll be a couple days coming back. So just the fact that you can pay with crypto and you can connect with your customers through an app to make it more convenient, that was the first kind of thought that we had in having our membership pass to this service. We struck up a partnership with Fly Exclusive, and we've already paid the down payment for the membership. We paid the monthly dues, and the creative partnership that we've came up with is going to allow all of our customers to fly through us at a much cheaper rate. So that's pretty much how we got to where we are today and who I am. So we can jump into something else if you guys want to.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for that, Matt.
Appreciate it.
Feeding off of that, what the platform really allows is for us to create a self-governing system that will feed revenue straight back into itself, ensuring longevity of the project, right? And the main idea that we have that we're selling is the fact that we are going to be able to effectively drive down the cost per flight, per member, through community-raised funds that will be allocated and distributed through a decentralized autonomous organization, otherwise known as a DAO. And that allows for us to have open transparency with everybody that invests in the project and everybody that shares the vision. And it really, really opens up the avenue for long-term exponential growth long after the start, right? So once this takes off, we're here to stay. the people that believe in it first are definitely going to reap the benefits that are going to come along with it, because there's no other way that people will be able to structure, organize data, distribute money without the positive intent lacking, right? And what
correct, absolutely.
These decentralized platforms, what they allow is for people to remove the ability of having to assume positive intent, right? Transactions are now peer-to-peer. We own the data, and we are in full control as to what we do and where we go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's up to your imagination what we have building here. It's a lot of, more or less complicated type of topics, but we're trying to make it as least complicated as possible. Most, really raising the bar when it's getting people into the actual project, right? Finding people, educating them, like Matt said, about not only private jets, but Web3, blockchain, NFTs, the entire world in general.
And we're allowing a lot bigger of a group of audience to get in on something they never thought possible before with our price points. Like, this is going to allow more or less, your everyday Joe to contemplate picking up one of these NFTs because it's actually affordable and these reasons,
Exactly. And again, let's talk about the price of the NFT. We're accessing all of these incredible utilities and benefits for 1.95 ETH. And in comparison to what it would usually cost to have this status in a private jet charter, that's 5 figures of savings. It's over $60,000-$70,000 off the bat. That by becoming a member of our organization, you are going to be pocketing and able to put that into your business and to other resources that are going to help you develop and grow.
And then not only do you get a price savings on these flights just by becoming a member with us, you're going to get an extra savings by being specifically a black box member because of our token jet fuel.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And it goes further than that too. Not only saving price, but the time that you're saving for having to book and organize these, flying private jets. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, a lot of logistics, forms you have to fill out, criteria you have to make sure that you're covering. And what we're doing is we're abstracting that away from the consumer, right? We're going to be taking care of that information. You're filling out a form once. It's saved in your personal profile, right?
There's stored onto the NFT.
Exactly. There's a dedicated, maybe not necessarily onto the NFT, but there's a dedicated application where you have a profile and you're able to book flights easier than it's ever been before for private jets.
Exactly. And every transaction, it's ran instantaneous. There's no middleman. There's no intermediary. You don't have to worry about anything else other than the person that's buying and the person that's selling.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
that's another thing is you buy into this membership, unlike any other private jet membership, whenever you want out, you can make your money back.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You can flip it. You can flip it, and you're betting on the investment that you're making originally.
Absolutely.
The people that are in early are getting the opportunity to catch it ahead of the curve. And it's not meant to be a flip project, but if you do end up in a situation where this isn't something sustainable for you, there are avenues for you to come out on top.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there's people that you would, in the community that would like to have your pass.
Exactly.
Depending on what pass you have.
Depending on your number.
They're all different. Absolutely.
All right. So the partnerships that we have right now, we just got started within the last 6 to 8 months, and we've already made a substantial amount of growth within our professional development in terms of who are we bringing on and for what reasons and what initiatives do they bring forward for the team. So right now, after our partnership with Fly Exclusive, we have locked in a partnership with Chainwave. They are a development group based out of Puerto Rico and California, and they're honestly the best fit for what we're doing right now. They've been running smart contracts since Ethereum came out. They're well versed in the subject, and not only that, but they share a heavy interest in what we're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Chainwave's super great company. Kind of like we said, they've been writing smart contracts, and smart contracts came out. Really talented individuals, great team. They're in that execution layer of software applications, right? So they'll build your application, right? You come to them with all your requirements, what you're looking for in a product, and they'll build it for you. So it's a great harmony that we have with them. They're building our booking application, so you're going to be able to log onto this application. It'll be Web3 based, connect with your wallet, book flights, pay for flights, the entire 9 yards. That's our minimum viable product, and we're going to be able to show a demo here in the next month,
Yeah,
30
absolutely.
days.
Yeah, we're gonna have it for Ethereum Austin.
Yeah. Touching on that, guys, we are going to be giving a speech. We are sponsoring Ethereum Austin. It's going to be in March 17th and 18th
Yes, sir.
in Austin, Texas.
Happen in the same week of South by Southwest.
Yes, absolutely. There's going to be some really big speakers there. Founders of Coinbase will be there. Founders of MetaMask will be there.
Founders of Sandbox.
Exactly. Yeah, there's going to be some
Visa.
really interesting minds feeding off of each other in that space that week. And if you're around, it's in your best interest to make it out there. We're going to be hosting a meet too. We'll be having and organizing a different event for Black Box and playing it by ear as we see who's in and we make more connections out there. We'll be updating you guys with more information. Keep up on the Discord. That's our main channel of giving live information to the people that are staying connected. And also, we're here to listen to you guys. We want to know what avenues you guys are comfortable with, what are you familiar with, so that we know where we can provide that kind of support, because we know that Discord's not that user friendly for people that are new to the
It's a learning curve.
Exactly. It's a learning curve. It's a new platform. It's a new organization of data.
Absolutely.
We want to be able to be open with you guys and understand where you're coming from.
Ease
right?
that process, right?
Exactly,
It's
so-
difficult for everybody, especially, we found that a lot of people are getting into this project for their first time, right? We have a different client base, exactly who we're advertising to, not everyone right now is looking to fly private jets, it's kind of a specific area. But with the people that we are targeting, it's such a benefit to be included in this group, everything that we have going on. It's just a super exciting time finding out with this partnership. And like what I was saying, most of the people that are investing in our project, it's their first NFT project, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for them to understand the information that we're presenting, right? Understand what minting is, what it means to hold these NFTs, what value is you're brought because you have one, right? What is being part of this community? What is Black Box Collective?
Exactly.
Answering all those
Yeah,
questions.
because we're trying to bring NFTs to a whole new executive space,
Yes.
and we're trying to get specific people to buy and hold these. And as you said
Absolutely.
before, a lot of these people really don't know
Yeah.
where to even start.
Exactly. And that's because, it's such a new space. Right now, NFTs are in their simple functions, and the common association to it's nothing but a profile picture,
Absolutely.
And once that stigma is broken at a bigger scale amongst the masses, it's going to be a realization that's inevitable.
Absolutely.
The way that it will change will come faster than anybody expected, and by that point, it will be the new standard.
Yeah, and when these type of technologies pop up, it always levels the playing field, right? For people to get in, there's like little to no entry cost. When these technologies pop up, like it has been less than 2 years since NFT has been really popular.
Yeah.
So right now is the time to do it. Everybody who's in, regardless of the project, you're in early, right?
Yeah.
And when you are involved in products early, you always reap the benefits.
Yeah,
right?
and being in the future, looking back at this episode, this Coinbase still hasn't even come out with their platform. Look at three to 5 years down the road where things are going to be in this space once the big players, the biggest
Exactly.
players in the game, are exactly where they need
Leading
to be
the industry.
for this to become the next thing.
Yeah.
All the stars need to be aligned, and people one by one are making their move over.
Yeah, it's crazy.
GameStop just did it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
GameStop.
StockX is doing it.
What is StockX doing?
StockX is doing an NFT.
They're gonna do
They're vaulting sneakers.
I believe they're gonna be doing like a verification thing as well.
Yeah,
heard
Coachella is also giving away lifetime tickets through an NFT. They're auctioning off 10
Yeah,
tickets.
yeah.
This
Wait,
Super
I
Bowl-
want to keep
Super
up on
Bowl-
that too. Look at how much those things can go up to.
Super Bowl is going to be an NFT ticket.
Is it?
You're getting a corresponding NFT ticket for your Super Bowl pass.
Oh wow. Well, ETH Austin. We have an NFT ticket for that.
Yeah, for ETH
Yeah.
Austin.
I don't know what I was
Yeah.
expecting. They're like all developers. It's like the point of it.
pretty
But
cool,
Yeah,
I
that'll be
was
really exciting.
really
we
happy to
have
see
a
that.
20-minute presentation at ETH Austin. We're going to be, promoting our project, taking information from, the crowd, answering questions, presenting Black Box Collective to a new group.
Hey, we're also going to be giving away a pass.
We're also going to be giving away a pass. There's a lot of value being added. We're super excited. We're going to have a demo ready of our booking application on the day of, so we'll be able to present, give everybody more detail and, a better picture of what we're making.
We're literally gonna be walking right into the arena of the crypto space. Like
Straight
all
up.
the big
Exactly.
heads are gonna be there. We're gonna show them our project, and we're gonna basically just see what they think.
Exactly. And what I find even more interesting about Ethereum Austin, and specifically this summit, is that it's happening during South by Southwest, but it is not a part of South by Southwest. So you get to benefit off of the amount of people that are already influxed into Austin for
Yep.
that time, which is a massive amount of people that are extremely knowledgeable and super good resources in this field. and they're not going to be swallowed up by the whole community that is South by Southwest. It's one of the biggest events in Austin of the year.
It's the biggest event in
it's
the
difficult to
US.
get everybody together and have everybody there at once, and it's going to be easier to dedicate the attention to the speakers and to the actual projects that are coming forward, as opposed to having a high amount of people that are just there to be there. You know what I mean? The people that are going to be at ETH Austin are going to be people that have an interest to go. They've signed up. They've minted a pass.
Yeah,
they've gotten it into their
if you
wallet.
mint a pass.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, and that's a
get through
genius idea.
hurdle. Yeah.
It's a genius idea because it's not about filtering the amount of people that you get in. It's about
quality, not quantity.
understanding what you are trying to deliver and making sure that you are eliminating any possibility of that not getting across. Because how terrible would it be if we try and explain this extremely complicated thing to people and nobody
just
gets it?
pitching
And they're
each other
still
away.
stuck.
Exactly,
They're still stuck.
exactly,
Like,
dude.
hey, how do I mint
Exactly.
an NFT?
You're Jeff Bezos trying to sell Amazon in the 90s, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
And that's what
smaller
it
scale,
like
but-
that. But you see, there's graphs that display when technology, essentially comes out versus the adoption curve, right? And it's always the technology exists in theory, but we can't follow it. There's no current adaptation for it, right? There's
Yeah.
no
It
market
takes
for
time.
it. Exactly. And it's a lot of that. It's always like that with different times. Usually it's like that with AI, but obviously we can see that trend with blockchain.
Yeah.
Right. There's a huge adoption, but still a lot of people are wondering how to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So it feels like we're at the bottom of that curve.
I mean, imagine what is it? I think it was last statistic I saw was like 3% of Americans owned crypto. Imagine how many of them own NFTs, even less.
Yeah,
No, it's
way
nuts.
less.
The
far
entire
less.
the entire market cap for all cryptocurrencies, less than 2 trillion?
Yeah.
Bitcoin's less than $1 trillion, right? Apple's at almost 3 trillion.
No, dude. If every
way.
single Bitcoin was worth $1 million, it still would be less than the national debt.
No. In this sense, the U.S. National Treasury bond, like the bond market for the United States, is I don't know how much, but less than 1% of that makes up for cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Less than 1%. Imagine if it was 1% or 2%. It'd be double. It's
What it
nuts.
is now.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Well,
And
the
that's
thing
for
about
only,
Bitcoin
and that's
too,
only
though,
for
is
the
like,
U.S.
Look at the utility behind Bitcoin.
bond
though.
market.
Like, you're not building NFTs on Bitcoin. You're not
Well, it's a
doing
different
half of the
network.
things.
It's a different
It's a different network. But what I'm saying is that Bitcoin is here because everybody says that Bitcoin is here, and not in a bad way, but it is in that way a social contract, like many have said,
It's like
and
yeah,
it's a
exactly.
collective agreement. Sorry, for everybody to use the same platform for its better use.
Well, it's like Daddy Bitcoin, right?
What is that?
It's just
Daddy Bitcoin?
so.
It's the first one.
It was the first one, and there's so much
What?
money in it. So there's almost $1 trillion.
The first Bitcoin?
No,
it's
no,
called Daddy Bitcoin?
No, it's just Bitcoin. We're calling it.
Oh,
Daddy
okay.
Bitcoin.
It's
Daddy
self-titled, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and so imagine,
kinda
so
wild.
let's say we have $1 billion in an equity. It's going to take more effort to get that $1 billion out collectively, right? That's why, another reason why Bitcoin is still at the top, because
It's so spread thin.
there's and there's Bitcoin that's lost on all sorts
Oh,
of
dude,
hard
yeah.
drives.
People
and,
have
like,
fucking.
Yeah,
there's a
gone.
guy
I
here.
have
There was a guy here in
0.3
San
gone.
Antonio that threw away hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's in a landfill still. And he's been going for years back and forth trying to talk to the city to let him come to the landfill, and nobody will give him permission.
Yeah, I don't think that was San Antonio, but I know
It was
exactly what
no.
you're talking about.
I mean, if it wasn't, there's
I
more.
think it was
There's
in
more
Texas.
people outside. But dude,
There
if you are that man in San Antonio, please email us admin@blackboxcollective.io. We'd
dude,
love
I
to
saw
talk to
this
you.
other thing. It was someone who
We'll fly you out.
they forgot their password to their wallet, and it has like 300 million in there, and they have two tries left
Yeah.
to reset it, and they haven't tried it. They still have 2 retries left. And
Jesus
people are
Christ.
like,
there's companies
updated.
dedicated to that, to helping
Oh,
people
to
get back
help.
into their wallets. Yeah, I mean,
They do it
That's
for
sick.
commit.
yeah, that's like fucking.
75% of that
Jesus
wallet,
Christ.
ass boy.
Dude,
All right.
I mean, like that's like deciphering or like unwiring a bomb. You know,
I don't even know how that works. I
So
don't even want to know how that works. It's too much power for me.
Let's talk some more about the actual access pass. And, we have a lot of deliverables off the bat. And we're saving money. We have this Web3 enabled platform that we're making.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Access Pass.
Yeah.
So the Access Pass, right, is our first product that allows people to join Black Box Collective, right? It's our flagship product. And what it is, it's an NFT. It's an NFT Access Pass that gives you full access to all the Black Boxes, features, all the things that we're offering for our community.
Absolutely.
It goes for the future as well.
Yeah, every
Exactly.
ongoing feature or benefit that we add to this membership, our Genesis members will have full access to.
Correct. And you obtain Genesis membership through owning
Membership.
through owning one of the original access passes.
Pass, yeah.
There's the first 200s are Genesis member level.
Yeah,
And
let's
the
talk
first
about
the first 200
seniority.
are the council.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
The first 3,500 are Genesis members.
yes.
yeah, 3,500. My bad. not
They're all
200.
Genesis. The first 200 are going to be our council
Absolutely.
members.
It's the first iteration of
That's
the
it.
project in terms of scalability. And
Correct.
and for a private jet charter, 3,500 is it's enough. But as we grow,
Well,
we are catering ourselves to not only people that want to fly jets, but we are also catering ourselves to the private jet market at a commercial level.
Absolutely.
Because we are able to build and provide a product that is that can be implemented across many different levels. And if we can sell ourselves to a private jet charter company and bring their cost of operation down and bring their revenue up simply by something that it should be that way. There's no reason why things shouldn't function this way.
Well, capitalism.
Exactly, capitalism. But the thing is, we're closer and closer by the day
We're
to
bridging
figuring it out.
We're bridging it with that
Exactly.
Web3. Yeah. So, I lost my train of thought a little bit about the access pass.
Well, I mean, I brought it up more so to reiterate how open-ended this membership really is, because it is a new field. We're growing. We have plans. We have aspirations towards making this worthwhile for every single person that's invested into this.
Absolutely.
And there's no
Oh, yeah.
there's no incentive for us
So
not to,
access
because
pass.
this is really, it could be the next thing, right? That access pass will lead you to private flights, discounts. Eventually, we'll end up having properties for our members to use, and all of these big implementations are going to be decided by the community. Every major move we make,
goes through the DAO.
it goes through the DAO. It's positioned by our council, which will be the first 200 members to mint. Mint now, become part of the council. You'll be able to decide and deliberate on the things and that the rest of the community will be voting on.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and so being part of, like, what is the price of entry to be in, like, to get a pass, right? What does it represent? Obviously, all the things that Lucas was explaining, right? Rental vacation properties, extra bells and whistles. But fundamentally, what it was first was a membership for private jet charter,
Exactly.
right? And usually these memberships, right, we're partnered with Fly Exclusive, and these memberships range anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000, and that doesn't include
Just to show up.
that doesn't include monthly memberships.
Just to walk in the
that doesn't
door.
include taxiing costs.
Yeah, they
or
got to position the airplane. Then you have a daily rate. You have an hourly rate.
prices for like holding the actual pilots. So many other things involved, right? And so what we're doing is, abstracting that away from the consumer, right? We're taking that upfront cost and we're like, hey, we're going to be partnering with these charter jet memberships or these charter jet companies, and in return, we're going to sell our own membership, right? That allows them access to these platforms.
And we've already talked to Fly Exclusive. We got this written up. It's already a done deal.
Yeah, we are officially partnered with Fly Exclusive.
This is already a thing,
It
right?
is not an idea. We have made something out of nothing.
Yeah, and it's on our website. You can check it out. We've put it into practice. The team was allowed to go to the Bahamas. We went there for a team bonding trip, meetings. We got some good footage.
Yeah, we we're doing some promotional content. We are doing a giveaway for the community.
Absolutely.
We're going to be sending one Discord member with the most successful amount of invites to the channel to the Bahamas. They will
Hey.
be staying at the SLS Baha Mar.
And that's where y'all went, right?
Yes, sir.
It was-
yeah,
it was
a
incredible.
beautiful
Checked it
resort,
out.
man. I
Yeah.
mean,
It was
insane.
incredible. Yeah, so we were able to experience the entire pipeline of what we're offering, right? From getting on a private jet to being at, some vacation property or property, hotel, whatever it
Resort,
may be,
yeah.
and just having the full experience. And it was a great experience, right? And having that under the belt and then now coming to lead this project, it makes way more sense,
Yeah.
right? Like knowing exactly the direction we need to go to, our vision, right? What we want to offer our community. What is Black Box Collective?
Exactly. And let's give a little bit of context into our team, who we are, what we're doing. You guys heard from Matt earlier, Matt and Blake. They're the co-founders of this. They extended this idea over to our managing director, James Price, who is currently right now in Spain studying abroad. And James and them, they had this idea for a little bit and kind of knew exactly what needed to get done, but just needed more hands on deck,
Right.
and it was a really, really strong idea with so many different ways that it could go down, and there was no actual direction onto what we were going to pull off. We still didn't know what we were doing nor how we were going to do it. And then, boom, got the name in. I made the connection with Nick. We got Nick on the team. Super incredibly talented blockchain engineer.
Appreciate you.
Accelerated us farther than I could have ever imagined. I mean, in the sense
we're able
of
to
where
release.
we came out of with like, hey, on paper, this is what we want to do. This is the idea we have. Nick was able to get us from a point of having that on paper to having something that is actually accessible and it's legit. You
Well, it's
know?
legit. You can go right now.
You can
be
test
a part of the
it.
community.
It's on Etherscan. We have all of our things set up so that you guys can keep track and watch what's going on.
All there is to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So appreciate you, Lucas.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
the developer technical lead for the project, so I'll oversee, any NFT requirements, technical requirements, stuff about the blockchain, questions, future plans. I'll make sure that we're asking the right questions, right? We're moving forward efficiently. We're not taking steps back, and everybody's on the same page, right? We want everybody to be on the same page with the technology. We're a smaller team, and if anybody's caught off guard, it hinders all of us.
Exactly.
So that's where I come in, making sure everybody's caught up, suggestions, implementation, the whole 9 yards. And then for the Chainwave application building, I'm there as, just making sure things are going well, corresponding information between Blackbox, Chainwave, making sure there's nothing unsaid. right?
Absolutely.
Everything's deciphered.
Absolutely. And again, that's the thing that I was able to tell very quickly when I was brought on as the creative director by James, Matt, and Blake. And we were all talking for a while and we need to get a blockchain guy. We need to get a blockchain guy on the team because we need somebody that knows what we don't.
Exactly.
Right? 'Cause you don't know what you don't know. And at that point, I was thinking through my mind, man, who can I hit up? Who can I hit up? And it just clicked on me one day instantly. Like, Nick, the boy,
The
knows
boy.
blockchain, and there's absolutely no fucking reason why we
Dude.
shouldn't take this off the ground.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I was already like 6 months deep in another blockchain project, NFT project. So I was super easily allowed to just transfer knowledge
Yeah.
from one
Yeah.
place to another.
And then that's the whole point behind this whole operation. Everything's open source. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you like a contract, you can take it, pull it, mix your information up, and really feed off of the ecosystem that's being built by any new venture that's happening on the blockchain.
Absolutely. Yeah, and let's talk about Chris a little bit. Chris is
Yes,
in charge of our
yes,
community,
absolutely.
making sure our Discord's, high and tight.
Yeah, once we had the blockchain stuff figured out, we quickly realized that we needed something for our community, And when
Community
all hands
support.
are deck are scrambling on marketing, branding, partnerships, blockchain, we all found ourselves falling really short on the Discord, and we needed to address that a whole lot quicker than we did, honestly. And Chris really was able to put us out and fill in that last piece of the puzzle for us to have that powerhouse team.
Crucial.
And we really truly do believe that we have a dream team in mind. We are all full send on this thing, on this idea.
I mean, the team is great. And
It is.
It's
honestly.
honestly insane, bro. And I've never thought about having to let me just randomly go hit up all my friends and let's actually do something legit.
You hit up the
But
right group
dude,
of friends.
exactly, dude. And I know so many people, and I don't say that lightly. I've traveled
Yeah, you do.
consistently for the past 6 years of
62
my life.
countries or something?
No, 42.
42,
Yeah.
42.
But I mean, out of that, I've always kept contact with the people that left a really good impression on me. I make
Absolutely.
sure that the relationships that I've built with my international community of friends stays alive. I've gone out, visited friends every single year in places that I never thought I'd end up. And I always take note of the people that sit with me, And when I met both of you guys, Chris, I've known you for years, Nick, I've known you for years, but I remember, meeting you
Yeah.
guys. I remember thinking about dude, these are like-minded people, not to pick and choose who you hang out with, but take note. And don't forget, dude, if you want to do something, talk to your network. People that will be able to help you pull off anything that you want.
Hey,
you
other
know?
people want to be in
then
the same position.
You literally just got to ask, hey, I know. And I hesitated hitting Nick up for a couple days because I knew he was busy doing his thing, and I just didn't want to come at him talking about things that I don't even know about, wasting anyone's time.
Yeah, Lucas
But-
came over, pitched it, and I was all like, bro, I'm already doing it.
Exactly.
I'm literally already doing
exactly.
this.
And I think it's funny because James is we're all separated too. Me, Chris, and Nick. By chance we're all in San Antonio because they're good friends of mine. We were able to make this happen. But Matt and Blake and James, they're all separated too. Blake and James are both in Florida. James is in Spain right now, but Matt's in Georgia. None of
Yeah,
us knew each
exactly.
other. None of us had this ability to connect, and it's something that James was kind of oh no, we can't just bring anybody on. We can't just
bring
you know,
people on.
like, oh, we're not looking for your boy, dude. We're looking for a blockchain engineer, you know? And that's where I was
You're
just
like, I
like,
got
dude, like,
both.
exactly, man, exactly. And the thing is, this whole thing, you know, going back to what Matt explained, it started because of the camaraderie in between Matt and Blake.
Right.
Two pilots.
Two
right?
pilots.
Two pilots. And out of that,
Two
you
pilots,
know,
one
James moved to Florida. I met James when we were kids in middle school and elementary school. We were one of my best friends. And he moved to Florida, and we kept in contact over the years. And he stayed over there. Started working for Blake, and you know, I heard stories about Blake for years before I met him. You know, and then he's like, "Oh, my boss this, my boss that. We're doing some crazy stuff, getting some planes out of the water or whatever." And I was, you know, I was
You're like,
always
wow, what the
almost
hell?
starstruck. You know, like, dude, who is this? Who's this Blake guy? You know, like he's
Yeah,
always
he's mysterious.
always
He's
doing something.
still- I
like,
know him now, and he's
James-
still mysterious.
Dude, exactly. But James was always telling me, like, oh, sending me pictures of all these planes, all these parts, and I'm just like, dude, who is Blake?
what are you
know,
doing?
What is he
exactly,
doing? Yeah,
exactly. You know, and the fact that James and Blake have this relationship, which is, I would almost compare it to like father and son. You know, and it's
It really
respectable
is.
because James is such a strong individual with his work ethic. And he's also such an animal at the same time with his social abilities and his willingness to have fun. You
Yeah,
know?
he is an animal.
And that's the thing, you know, like the fact that this whole thing started because Matt and Blake were friends and James and Blake were friends. You know, although they worked together, they were more friends than they were coworkers. Even after the fact, when James stopped working for him, you know, and coming out of that, James extended the opportunity to me as one of his childhood best friends. And I've only extended the opportunities out to two of my good friends, you know, and we are.
Thanks, James.
We are able, yeah.
Thanks,
Shout out James, man.
Thanks,
But
James.
what I'm saying is, we're able to not only grow organically, but we're able to use the already existing commitment that we have to each other to push this forward.
Absolutely.
You know, and for no other reason besides the fact that we all want to see this happen.
Well, I'm committed. I mean, we all are.
Yeah, absolutely,
and
absolutely. But there's a level of commitment that seeps outside of like the professionalism scope,
Yeah.
and it's like you have to be passionate about what you're doing to a degree. Whether you're gonna hit the ups and downs, you still need to have that sitting within you. You know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I've worked in places, dude, that I did not want to be at. I've worked in places that made me feel terrible. I've worked in places that made me feel great. But the common thing is, like, if it's not passionate, bro, I've never had that ability to click and devote myself. You
Yeah,
know?
and, like,
we all are here doing that.
on our own time. Like I know,
Exactly.
like, dude, it'll be midnight and Lucas will give me a call and it's like about something random.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But
He
dude, I
just-
mean, like, I wake up in the morning.
Hey, what's up?
I wake up in the morning, dude, and I'm like, I'm thinking about like what I was doing last night or what I'm doing here. I fell asleep with my computer in my hands the other night, and like woke up with the computer on the
straight up.
ground, dude. Like,
I'll straight up be coding sometimes, and like, I'll be on my computer all day, and like I'm on my computer, I'm like, oh, bro, I'm so tired, and I'll scoot back a little bit, just
zonk,
for 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I'm back, and just come back and work. I
just like
swear.
type it in your sleep.
No, it's so funny. I like scoot back a little bit because I'm like dozing off coding. I'm like, this makes no sense, and I'm just like, I'll fall asleep, I have a little headrest,
That's so funny.
and then I wake up, and I'm like, okay, let's get back to it.
I'm good now.
I'm good now.
Power.
Yeah. But that's the thing, that's the kind of commitment that it takes from all ends of the scope to make something like this happen. And I talk about it like
No
it's
one's
a
gonna do it for you.
I talk about the success that we've had already as if it's a coincidence, you know, but it really isn't. It's the fact that we are all
yeah,
on top of
exactly.
what we're doing, and that it's something that is fundamental for the early stages of this. If we have
100%.
the idea that we're doing this like a 9 to 5, I want my weekends off, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's not about the person. It's about the formula. You know that
Oh, yeah.
that
No,
does not work with the
absolutely.
formula, especially for a startup and especially for something on the blockchain.
Well, just being in this space in general, and like, I mean, it might really like extend past the space and just like being a developer, but like you're always being needed, right?
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't stop, especially if you're trying to
There's so much.
spearhead these projects. You want to be if you want to be like a head developer, like head of the community, like it's 24/7.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's 24/7.
that's the biggest thing, and like that kind of brings back to even really why I got involved with this whole project is because the team does so much and it has so much going for it, but no one really knew how to channel all that information in an appropriate manner.
That's
because,
right.
you know, saying something that is 3 months out is probably not something that should be said today. you know?
Exactly.
But we are working on it, and those are like those surprises that we got to keep for our community.
Yeah. Not only are we
Exactly.
working on it, but we are on track.
Exactly.
to achieving it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
Honestly,
I mean, we
our
have
whole
all these
roadmap.
we have
Our whole roadmap is on. We're on course. We're doing good. So it's like not many people can actually say that. We're actually ahead on certain things of development. Not something I should probably be saying on this, but like not many projects are actually doing what we're doing. And the fact is, like, we're already we're in deep.
Yeah, and I mean, also a crucial part about this project is its real world utility, right? Our plans for metaverse and, you know, all that super cool brand new stuff isn't until phase 2, phase 3, right? Which
Yeah.
we haven't talked about. But right now, you know, we're focusing on how we're going to provide real world utility, which really sets us apart, right? When we were, you know, interviewing for ETH Austin, you know, it's one of the main points, one of the main takeaways from, you know, the leader of the group was, hey, y'all have something different,
Exactly.
right? Something that
Y'all
people
are
would be interested in.
y'all are one of the first projects that's actually bringing a real world
Mm-hmm.
utility.
Exactly.
And it's today. It's not like
It's
something
today. We've
we're
done
doing
it.
Yeah, you
tomorrow.
can mint to pass and get on a flight
we
tomorrow.
went to the
Yeah.
Bahamas, like
Yeah, literally on a jetty. And on top of that, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like there's so much more opportunity for you to be able to travel safely throughout the COVID pandemic with a private jet. And of course,
You're choosing who flies with you.
of course, yeah, and it's obviously something that's not attainable for everybody. But what we are aiming to do is to
Fill that
bring that gap and fill it up, because time has only shown that the things that were once attainable for the masses do become attainable at some point.
Yeah, you're completely right.
The things that were once expensive for everybody are now common use items.
Well, no, you also see like the transition of money occurring right now. Like,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
baby boomers are
people
out.
are making more money than they ever have in
No,
certain realms, bro.
Think about it like this: like 100, however many years ago, we haven't had this blessing. We've been in wars. We've been through the Great Depression. 100 years ago, we're in the Great Depression. 20 years later, 10 years later, bam, World War I, World War II, Korean War,
Vietnam. Yeah.
No. And now it's crazy. All the baby boomers are retiring, and our generation is stepping in. There is a huge, never been seen before, right? And we have the internet. Transition of wealth. Not only wealth, knowledge, power. Everything is being transitioned right now. And right now is the time for people to build new infrastructure for that transition, right? There are so many like-minded people, young professionals, right, our age, who are, you know, starting their careers, and let's say they need to be in a couple different cities throughout the day, throughout the week. This is a great platform for them to be able to exercise that.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, we've talked about how we're trying to bring this to the everyday Joe. But another thing is, just for actual executive use, like this is like almost a no-brainer. I mean, if you're someone that already is taking these flights, you're already
putting money up. Yeah.
You
every
already have
month,
skin in the game.
You're cutting the cheese, dude.
You didn't even take a flight last month, and you still paid however much you had to do for your monthly
And
dues.
you can't sell it. You just got to
You
stop
can't
paying.
sell it.
You cannot sell it. You know what I mean?
There's no, yeah, exactly.
There's no return on your investment.
got you by.
That is passive. You know what I mean? And at that point, just buy and sell it, and you are making your money back no matter what situation you're in, whether you need it or not.
Absolutely. And whenever I think of, because I think of that a lot, the transition of wealth that's happened, the transition of everything. And like, whenever I see any opportunity that like leverages that transition, I'm like, that's a good investment.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
Exactly. And again, like NFTs are still very small scale in a way. The utility is being pushed across the board by not just us. There's other projects out there that are doing it. But what needs to be taken note of is that the NFT is not simply just a photo. It is a new structure for what already exists.
NFTs weren't smart. These smart contracts weren't created for photos.
Yeah, exactly.
They were not, but people were like, oh, I can put a photo to this and sell it. And then everyone's selling it now. I mean, it's just like,
It's a collective agreement
it's
to
a
do it.
collective
Yeah, and
agreement.
that's the
They were
thing.
not meant for this, bro. You can
Yeah.
do way cooler stuff with smart contracts. We're doing a cool stuff for a smart contracts like a DAO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, straight
But
up.
as
NFTs,
more DAOs, as
escrow
more,
wallet.
dude, I mean, like,
Escrow wallet, yeah,
I
multi-sig.
met up with a good homie of mine. I ran into him at the Pearl the other day, and you know, I off the bat, just like I haven't seen him in 5-6 years. He's just like, oh, I'm working on this NFT thing, and I'm like, dude, that's insane. I'm also working on an NFT thing, and that goes to show that like your
Everybody our age is on an
circle,
NFT thing.
it's growing, dude. It's getting
It
bigger.
is.
It's getting bigger, and whether or not it's a utility project or if it's a profile picture project, if you have a service that you're providing. I mean, these guys that I met up with, they're called Grid Hack. Shout out Grid Hack. They're building solar panels that mine crypto. Right?
You were telling me about
Solar
that.
panels that earn you passive income and drive the cost of electricity down in your home.
Bro, they're building
I
new
mean,
houses
dude.
with Ethereum nodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the house will be powered and run an Ethereum node, and you'll get paid. You pay your mortgage. I don't know how it's going to work, but that's the idea.
Exactly. But the thing is, more and more applicable uses are coming forward for this technology, and the possibilities are almost endless, because like if you look at something like what we're doing, private jets, it extends into properties. Then those properties, well, what if we want to put solar panels on those properties? And then we have solar panels that are mining currency, earning passive income on top of the rental income for the property that goes into the treasury, that goes back into all the members, you know? So it's like, it's this
a
almost
full cycle.
exactly. It's the pyramid scheme without the scam, you know, and that's what a decentralized system allows for it to happen. It's that crowdfunding without somebody to write the books off.
Well, honestly, it feels like that a lot of times where it's like too good to be true, but then like you get into these projects and it's only up,
Yeah.
right? They have so much to offer because there really is no downside. Like if it fails, you're back in the position that you were in, the same position you were in when you started, right?
Yeah.
And so it just pays so much to be, you know, early invested with any project, really, especially in the Web3 space.
Yeah.
You know,
I
if
mean,
you do your research and, you know, the project checks out, they have good utility, good timeline, you know, roadmap, community.
Yeah, are the creators doxed? Can you find people's information? Is it backed by people that are reputable?
Like what's
and then,
yeah, exactly.
And then what are they actually bringing?
Yeah.
exactly.
Are they selling an idea, or is there anything that exists? Are they out of the stage of brainstorming, or are they actually applying what they've
And then
learned?
what is that actual product? Like
Exactly.
what we're
Is it a course?
yeah.
Right? Is it?
And the thing is, like, a lot of these projects, they're DAOs, and the use case behind it doesn't come until you have that community built in some way. I mean, you can add, you know,
Clean my
a
DAO.
fundamental,
Time just got
exactly,
rug
yeah.
pulled.
But I mean, for example, I just I bought a Undead Pastel Club, you know, and I wanted to mint 3 of them because I love the art, and honestly, that's the first thing that I recommend anyone looking to get into NFTs. Dude, if you like it, buy it. Who cares if you
like
flip it
the
or not?
art.
I liked it, and I was willing to buy
Buy
it,
stupid
keep
shit
it.
all the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I didn't
Bought
go
a bow and
into
arrow the
it
other day.
with the intent of I'm gonna make a flip, you know, and even if it did tank, I was cool with having the art because I liked it, you know. And then I was about a minute, and I started seeing like Twitter accounts like, oh, this is a rug pull, and they're not docs or whatever. And I bought in, and the project's actually pretty legit. It looks like it's doing well, but they are basing their roadmap off of the community that is minted in. They sold out in 16 minutes, and they didn't advertise anything. Zero. Like, hey, buy the art. We have no idea what we're going to do with it. And that wasn't even disclosed. It was just, it looked like a scam, you know, and that's what turned me off. And I only ended up minting 1. And nothing against it. I got it because I wanted it, you know, but it's one of those things, like, there are going to be projects out there that are doing this on the fly as they go. And that is also part of the initiative that comes with this kind of thing. It's like the community is self-governing itself.
I mean, no one went to school to make NFT projects.
Yeah,
No.
well, maybe one day they will.
Maybe one day they will. I'm gonna be the
Yeah,
teacher.
I mean, dude, my geometry teacher in high school, he is now teaching a crypto class at a high school here in Texas.
That's what I like to
Yeah.
hear.
No, and that's insane, dude. That is
That is
insane, dude. And like, as I've traded and as I've done things, I have made so many mistakes. I have lost so much money, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, those mistakes cost something, you know, and you have to take note of that. And I've running it by myself just like it was a game, you know. And now, if somebody would have told me half of the fundamentals behind trading, cryptocurrency, reading charts, technical analysis, markets,
Emotion.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, dude. If that could have been delayed, I mean, who knows? You know, high school kids, they're hit or miss. They either want to hear it or they don't. But it's something that it's another possibility to ignite that light bulb in
and it
in
just
a kid. It's
it just-
fundamental.
it also just proves that that's really where the state of the United States is going.
Yeah.
I don't even know. That's a different topic.
But I mean, going back to my teacher, I mean, he's gone on TikTok, and he's like blown up his account. He's got like over 100,000 followers on Twitter, or not Twitter, on TikTok, just talking about crypto and like teaching it in class. So
That's fire.
that wave is coming,
I've probably
dude.
seen him.
That wave is coming.
Oh yeah.
Dude, TikTok content right now for free information. That's the number one way to get views, build platforms, give out free information.
Exactly.
Right. Valuable information, like crypto news right now is super important.
Yeah.
So what else do we have on the agenda? We've talked, we've introduced ourselves, talked about the project, what is Black Box, some of our partnership, explained, who we're partnering with, what they're offering, what we're building together. We've talked about our community, how we plan on, having a self-governed community, for the longevity of the project, people who are in early, who are passionate for the project, right, who are a part of it, will be able to make the choices on how we move forward using a DAO. We talked about some of the places we're going to be visiting soon, right? We got a couple conventions. We're talking about ETH Austin. That's next month in March, midway through the month. And then, possible plans for VCon
Yeah, we are actually going to be giving away a flight to a VFriends holder. So attention
Exactly.
VFriends, we are going to be flying one lucky VFriends holder out to VCon.
Correct. Yeah, so that's still in the works, right? Setting up the logistics for that. Some marketing needs to be done.
Yeah, and again, outside of just saying like, oh, we're flying someone to VCon. I mean, Matt and Blake, they're both VFriends holders. They're
Correct.
part of the community. They're subject to any sort of outreach from them. They can go in, they can get in the chat, they can access people. They're members in that sense. And not only just with them, but Matt's got a Bored Ape. Matt had a Mutant Ape. He's also got CyberKongs. I mean, we have the positioning to be able to cross integrate with other collections and build off of the hype. We want to scale the hype in an organic way that isn't just gonna parabola up and down. You know what I mean?
We want steady growth.
Exactly, and that's what's going to come from an authentic community. We have
Rome wasn't built overnight.
Yeah,
It was
definitely.
not.
was not.
I mean, Bored Ape wasn't built overnight either.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, those things were trading for free, weren't they? Or no, CryptoPunks were trading for free.
CryptoPunks, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
they were like $20 a pop.
I mean, dude, I saw an article
in
about some dude
2018.
that bought a Bored Ape for like 0.8. You know what I mean? It's just like,
all right, what else? So we talked about our DAO, right? Some people we're partnering with. Things we're bringing to the table, our booking application, right? What that means, what value it adds to our consumers. Going to be able to book, these private jet flights through an application, taking away a lot of the headache of filling out these forms for private jets. The requirements that are needed, documentation. We're taking all that away, or it's like a sign-up sheet, right? When you're like logging in or making a new profile for the first time on any social media, right? We'll be doing that, but then also including functionality for your wallet. Obviously, we talked about our access pass. That's our, probationary asset for Black Box Collective, right? So that's the first thing you can do to participate in the community, get involved, start reaping the benefits of what we're offering. And right now is the best time to get involved, to get invested, because of the benefits that we have, right? Not only are you getting Genesis membership, but access to the council for the DAO, being able to spearhead where this project goes in the future.
Yeah, there's only about 90 spots left for the council.
Exactly. It's all self-governed, right? Everything's happening through the DAO. Proposals are being made, and people who are part of the community are able to vote on it.
yeah. And on top of that, I mean, private jets and private aviation, it's a niche that tailors to a very high-level executive group. And inside of that, what we are opening up for our members, whether they're here for pleasure or for business, is we are creating a community and an avenue for safe and secure collaboration.
That's right.
In between these businesses that are using our jets, and that goes from business collaborations to sharing flights, if there's
Family
business,
vacations.
exactly, family vacations, or even a business trip. If they need to get half the team from Miami to New York, and there's another business in Miami that's doing the same, you guys pay half as much, and you're earning jet fuel rewards that you can
Absolutely.
then put back in to making your flight cheaper in the future.
Yeah, it's a full system, right?
Yeah.
Go on our website. You're able to check out our entire, economy, our timeline, what the treasury looks like, how money's going to be reinvested. What everything looks like for Black Box Collective, the entire picture that's being painted. We're in the process right now of revamping our landing page, but all the information's there if y'all want to go look at it.
Absolutely. And we are actually going to be filming and doing another episode of this podcast when we were out there in East Austin.
Correct.
That's going to be later in March. We might be able to get another one in between, but if not, definitely expect us out there. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to meet a lot of interesting people and hopefully come out of it with some new avenues for the
Yeah,
members.
I think it's going to be super beneficial. I mean, just the fact that we're getting exposure to such a great audience, right? It might not be quantity, thousands of people, but the people who are there are hitters.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
And then not that that's what we're counting on, but what we want is to be able to catch the eye of the people that are already doing this.
The biggest
You
thing
know?
is we need to make a name for ourselves. 'Cause
Exactly.
we're not even trying to hit these sales like we are, obviously, but once we have the name made, the sales will come naturally.
Exactly. And we have proof of concept.
Yeah.
We are not an idea. We have a service that is provided. It is running. You can get on a plane and fly with one of the top 5 U.S. charter operators right now. You know what I mean? And be able to funnel all of that into the blockchain. We're working on the platform right now to facilitate all these transactions seamlessly, but we are still able to offer and accept crypto payments as of right now. And it's not exclusive to people with crypto. We take real money. If you have cash, you want to fly, you want to buy a membership.
Real money.
We take cash money.
Yeah, we take
But-
cash, credit.
But straight up, yeah. I mean, like, this is not a limiting kind of group. We are not.
What you
making
are limited
this-
to is you have to buy the access pass.
Yeah, absolutely. That's on the
Yeah,
blockchain. You need to have a
course. That's a
have a
given.
wallet. And honestly, at that point, we're doing you a favor. You guys need to get on your wallets, learn how to set that up, because it is an avenue for growth. You know, you need to set yourself up for success.
If you're already in the position where you can afford an access pass, but you don't know how to do it, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
agreed. Especially while ETH is so
Absolutely.
low.
Exactly. Like, you're hurting yourself. Right now, the access pass is on sale. Like,
Yeah,
ETH is below
technically.
3,000.
Hey, and it
when
could
we
go back
started,
down, dude.
we
I
had
mean,
multiple people mint for much larger prices.
yeah, you know, and then the thing is, like, you have to take into account the fact that it's a step process. You decide you want it. Okay, step 1 complete. Step 2, where's your entry? If you have to buy Ethereum, look at the chart. Do small research. Don't just go in and buy randomly, because it is entirely possible for it to just dip down.
Dollar cost average.
Exactly.
and other
It could happen from the time that you put the money into the account to the time you get to the page to buy it. So it's one of those things that, like, make sure you're not rushing through things. Make sure that you have some sort of strategy behind what you're doing, because it is something that is easy to get lost in if you're going into it blind. You know, and we're here to facilitate the process as much as we can, and we want to be able to deliver as much information to our community so that we eliminate the possibility for there to be, you know, a confusion or something that they don't understand, or
Right.
something that limits them from being able to use the full potential of what they're investing into.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of moving parts in the project. We're just trying to make it as, you know, easy to understand for people who want to get invested as possible. And for people who are part of the community, you know, have already, you know, invested their time, their money into us, you know, making sure that they're reaping the benefits, that they're able to, you know, really seize what is Black Box Collective.
Yeah.
You know, being able to fly on these private jets, experience the, you know, what it is to, like, go to these locations, have everything set out for them, you know, the way that we did in the Bahamas.
Exactly. And I mean, like, the network that we are building out of this, it goes outside of our members. It goes outside of our community. It includes everyone that has heard the name and knows what we're doing. And we all firmly believe that it will get to the point where we can position ourselves as the premier jet charter for the NFT crypto space. You know, and that's ultimately what we want to be able to provide for this community, solely out of our passion for what's going on and how it's being pioneered.
Right. Well, we're building the world's first Web3 booking platform.
Exactly. And that, I mean, even though it's a big feat right now, that is one small step
One
for
small
man,
step.
one big
Everything's
step for
gonna be
mankind.
everything's going to be Web3
Quote me
integrated
on
in
that.
10 years, you know.
Agreed.
But
But,
yeah, that pretty much, you know, that covers all the main things we wanted to talk about, you know, going over the project, who we are, our community, future plans, endeavors, our values.
Yeah, I think on the next one we can get a little bit more technical, because hopefully people will have listened to this and then be like, let me go learn a little bit more, do some research on the things they might be confused about, and then next time we can start getting a little bit more nitty gritty.
And trust me, guys, I mean, I'm dreaming about this stuff.
Well,
I
we-
literally
yeah,
am on
exactly.
this all the time. I'm thinking about new things every day. By the time we get back in front of a camera, on top of another mic, there's
So
going to be
much stuff.
episodes
So
worth
much
of
stuff
dialogue that
happens
we'll
in
be
a
able to
week.
have. Yeah, I mean, like, we have to limit ourselves on our daily meetings from talking about things too much,
straight up.
because we have so much that we can do, that we know how to do. We have an execution plan, but it's all stacking up so hard, and we got to make sure that we're taking this in sequential order,
Yeah,
so
one
that
step
it
at a
works.
time.
You know, so that it works. You know, because it's really easy to get overwhelmed, to get ahead of yourself, and try and do it all at once. But we know the path of growth is slow and steady, and we are here to make it happen. You
That's
know?
right.
We're not rushing through anything. We're not cutting corners. We're doing it right. We're delegating tasks to the people that know how to do it, so that way we can ensure our members are top tier. You know,
Taken
they
care of.
have the seamless access to the top developers building the platform, the top aviation guys running the business, the people that are knowledgeable the most about these systems, how they work, how can it legally work, how can we integrate blockchain into a legal partnership with private jets, private jet charters, people that are already flying, you know, the FAA. There's so many regulations that come into this industry, and Blake is like the pinnacle of knowledge for it. It's insane. You know, the guy's an incredible
The perfect
resource.
fit, yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing, going back to what we said about this dream team that we've made. Every single one of us provides a value to this that helps in an elemental way. We need it, you know, and then not that anybody else could do it, but the way that we are set up right now, it's literally as easy as just like proceed. You know, idea, we have the idea, we find a way to do it, and then we execute, and nothing less. You know, and Blake has really come through on getting these partnerships, on selling the idea to the people that know what it is, and it's one of those things that without Blake and Blake's knowledge and Blake's experience in the aviation field, and even Matt too. Matt's a super talented. Guy with a crypto strategist. He's a super good investor in NFTs. He's a pilot himself. I mean, like, those two guys are the nucleus of what is going to be blockchain taking over the air industry.
Agreed. I mean,
and I don't say that lightly, dude. I mean, once things evolve to the point where American Airlines is taking crypto for a plane, you know what I mean?
Like, been there first.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Been there, done that.
And then, talking with Matt one-on-one, I think he just understands it from the pilot's perspective, which is probably not something everybody's going to think about.
Exactly.
So what we're trying to do is make this even easier for the pilots flying these flights, because right now there's no way for someone who's flying an empty plane home back in, say, Miami, right? There's no way for them to be like, messaged while they're flying, hey, there's someone that can pick up, you can pick up out in Georgia on your way back. So he has to go all the way to Miami before he even gets that knowledge. So we're working on ways to ping these pilots in mid-flight. That way there's less downtime without passengers, and that's going to help the other end.
Cost.
It's reducing costs. We're not just helping ourselves and our members, we're helping our partners make more money.
Exactly. And that's part of opening the avenues for the people that commit and the people that are invested and the people that share that vision. And outside of that, it is a very, very niche kind of zone, private aviation, private jets. But the bottom line and what the use case is for it is travel, right?
Yep.
So people can move from point A to point B.
Efficiently, effectively,
we are also
safely.
taking into account the fact that there are going to be a collective amount of people that have an interest in what we're doing, want to be part of the community, but just simply don't have a use or the ability to obtain a pass. And that's fine. Right. But what we've made is the local plug app. And what that will serve for is it's going to be a network for the black box community to feed information off of each other, collectively find things to do, register your city, and get in the chat, go into different cities, see what members are where, what can they position to you as a member of the community that you're not going to get just by talking to somebody in the street. We've already got people in here that are club promoters that are, willing to offer, bottle service and then hook up deals for better rates on your own section or your own benefits, right? James is out here in Ibiza right now. He is, made connections with people, got them on the Discord. They're throwing house parties in Ibiza every other week, doing this, that, the other. Those are the locals that you want to be in contact with. And I've been to 42 countries, over 30 of them by myself. And it is crucial to see the amount of genuine people that you have out there while you're doing it.
You need someone you can trust.
And I mean, my dad's from Spain. He traveled Europe growing up, and I grew up hearing all these stories, going there, going here, and doing all these things. And he only kept in touch with maybe like a few people, you know what I mean? All of those connections, it's not that it goes to waste, but where is people wouldn't have even thought how much connection we could have by now, people sending letters, people keeping in contact, meeting. Dude, I met my wife in a hostel in Nepal, and I kept in contact with her for years until I went back and we made a relationship out of that, Yeah. Most people back in the day, oh, hey, Kai, whatever, cool, you're nice, whatever, but you don't have the ease of access to maintaining that relationship, much less building it, And what Local Plug provides is the platform for you to have a pool of people that are able to provide those things for you, whether it's, a club to go out to, a swimming hole to find on a hike, a good restaurant to eat at, what's a good place to go for whatever it is. It's open-ended.
An art gallery,
exactly.
whatever.
Local information, community-driven local information.
Local plug.
Exactly, guys.
Local plug. Exactly.
So we're pushing that hard. We encourage everyone to get in.
That's actually going to be a free.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
well.
why I brought it up. We are catering to our community, not just the members. And our community goes as far as every person on the planet that can get out a phone and register their city, man.
And likes to travel.
Exactly. Likes to travel. That's the
Good
big
point.
thing, And the more
Likes to save money.
Yeah, and then the more you connect with people, the more you'll find that there are like-minded individuals out there that want to see the same things happen, right? And there's people out there that want to connect, that want to meet new people, that want new ideas, and we're only opening up the avenue for somebody to get into the blockchain space, the cryptocurrency space, all these different people that we're going to have in our community, members and not. We're creating an avenue for them to communicate, for them to have ease of access to each other, whether they're doing it for business or pleasure, or like we said, connecting different flights to bring costs down.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Hey, I mean, it's a great idea. Implementation's there.
Yeah,
Just right now, it's just building community.
exactly.
Because
exactly.
it's community driven. Exactly.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like we are building almost like a social contract. It has to be a collective agreement for everybody in it to use it and like it. So that's also on us to be able to take back that feedback and implement things as we move forward.
improve, yeah.
Exactly. And that's it's all a growing process. We know what we know. We don't know what we don't know, but we're here to learn it, right?
Amen. Yeah, guys. So go to our website, check out everything we got. Black Box Collective IO.
Yeah, blackboxcollective.io.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go. And our mint site, blackboxcollectivemint.io.
You can check everything out on the website.
We'll link everything up in the descriptions and stuff.
Absolutely. You can go get in touch with the community on Discord. Obviously, all the links will be, presented wherever. You can find everything, obviously, on the website.
Yes, sir.
Get to the Discord, get to the DAP.
Yeah. Come say what's up in Discord.
Yeah, let us know, man. We're always running
Let us know you're from the
giveaways.
podcast.
Yeah, and we want to be able to bring in as many people as we can that have the interest in this. So, I mean, if you're listening to this and you have this thing inside you that's telling you, oh, this is cool, like I should pay attention to it, yeah, please do. Please give us a follow, keep up with us.
I mean, at
we
the
would
very
love
least,
to talk to you.
At the
You
very
know what I
least,
mean?
just
We
give
would
us a
love
follow.
to hear your ideas. And honestly, one thing I wanted to position to James is making a new email account, feedback@blackboxcollective.io.
I like
So
that.
we can have that for people that have ideas. They want to be able to put it in because our number one thing is our community.
Agreed.
We take care of our community will take care of us back.
That's right.
We have a feedback set up in our Discord, but I agree we should definitely have another
A,
like
a
show
feedback
dedicated
channel.
email.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That way on the fly, nobody has to pull it to feedback@blackbox. Send
Boom.
in your ideas.
Yeah.
Well, cool, guys. Those are some ideas.
I love it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, well, to wrap up the first episode of the Black Box podcast, let's get some takeaways, guys. We got the Access Pass. We got local plug.
Access Pass. We got to talk about logo plug. We talked about our community, obviously our project, what we're offering. ETH Austin. We're pumped. We're beyond excited for it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
We're excited to have this podcast. We got, one of our good friends to lend us a space or rent us out the space.
Yeah, Chatterbox Studios. Shout out to Ernest. Anybody in the San Antonio area need a
Shameless plugging.
6 spot? This
Oh,
is
yeah,
super
this is
good,
a
man. I mean,
Great
Yeah,
studio.
super
plug and
sweet.
play, walk in, walk out, and get it done. Ernest is a super good resource for it. But yeah, guys, definitely come back, keep up with what we're doing. It's really interesting. We're eager to show you guys.
Yes, we're excited. Anxious, one might say. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is overwhelming. There's a lot of pressure. We're not scared to fail. That's an
Well,
important
anxious
thing.
in just the sense of like, all right, let's keep the ball rolling. Like,
Exactly.
let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
people in it. Let's do full scale.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. We're
Exactly.
ready for that. That's for sure.
Exactly.
And it is a scalable thing.
Well, yeah, we're working hard for it. All right, everybody.
All right, well, that wraps it
talk,
up.
man.
We're going to be cutting. Cut out.
Cut.
All right, that's a wrap.